The Fertility Center of Las Vegas. It is conceivable.
Hello, I'm Dr. Bruce Shapiro, and I'd like to welcome you to the Fertility Center of Las Vegas. I'd like to tell you now a little bit about myself so you know who you're working with. I did my undergraduate work at the University of California at Santa Barbara. I was a double major in psychology and zoology. I did my master's degree at the University of Nevada at Reno and then medical school there. I then went to Yale University for my medical training. I did my internship there, a residency in obstetrics and gynecology, and then a fellowship in reproductive endocrinology and infertility. So I'm a board-certified obstetrician gynecologist, and then I'm subspecialty board-certified in reproductive endocrinology and infertility. I did a PhD at the University of Amsterdam in Holland, and I was recruited by the University of Nevada School of Medicine to start the Division of Reproductive Endocrinology and Infertility, which I did back in 1988. And I've been here ever since. My goals when I first came to Nevada were to first identify what kinds of problems we had generally in the treatment of infertile patients with in vitro fertilization. At that time, the biggest problem was pregnancy rates. So we had to develop techniques to improve pregnancy rates, which we did by being extremely fastidious in the laboratory and paying attention to detail. At the Fertility Center of Las Vegas, we want to make your cycle a good experience and at the same time a successful experience. While there are many things that go into the development of a successful infertility program, the most important is experience. You can read about something, you can listen to something in class, but experience trumps all. At the Fertility Center of Las Vegas, you may meet people from all over the region, from all over the country, and from all over the world. The reason they come here is because our pregnancy rates are very high, and we pay a great deal of attention to details. We're going to focus all of our experience, our knowledge, and our expertise into finding out what's preventing you from getting pregnant, and then we're going to identify what we can do specifically to make you pregnant. We do a lot of clinical research. Without research, how can you improve? We take all of those things that we learn from our research and we apply them to you specifically. We're particularly interested in patients who have failed to get pregnant from other clinics. The reason is we have an active research program in why some people fail IVF. And we have a special program here to identify the specific problems for previous failures, rectify them, and make the likelihood of pregnancy greater. One of the things we like to avoid is multiple pregnancy. We developed a technique called blastocyst transfer. Blastocyst transfer is a system where you let the embryo develop in the laboratory for 5 days instead of the previous 3 days. With the extra 2 days, we can identify the embryos most likely to be able to implant in the uterus. With this identification, we can put in fewer embryos and still maintain higher pregnancy rates. Obviously, when we're treating women, the most important thing to us is we want safety. We prevent the development of side effects of in vitro fertilization. The most important of those side effects is ovarian hyperstimulation syndrome. Ovarian hyperstimulation syndrome is where the ovaries continue to enlarge and fluid accumulates in the abdomen. It happens to women who have very large numbers of eggs. What we found in the early part of this century is how to prevent that from occurring, and we haven't had a case here in over 4 years. We're going to focus all of our experience, our knowledge, and our expertise into finding out what's preventing you from getting pregnant, and then we're going to identify what we can do specifically to make you pregnant.
The Fertility Center of Las Vegas. It is conceivable.